未接先祖法旨，允你入盟。
修士联盟，也配？
独仙者，形神俱灭。
Daring to take the initiative and provoke Mazi Wang Lin's infamous nickname, meaning Scarred One, a feared title used among cultivators. What kind of force is the Cultivator Alliance exactly? Why is their old ancestor mockingly called the treasure-delivering expert second only to Tan Lang? First of all, the ancestor of the Cultivator Alliance was named Huang, and his cultivation had reached the ascendant middle stage. He was originally a cultivator from a sect near heaven-defying planet, a sect known as the Lianyu sect. Several hundred years ago, while fleeing from mortal enemies, he entered the land of monster spirits. At that time, however, he was merely at the soul transformation late stage great perfection. This man was cautious and timid by nature, yet his luck was astonishingly good. One must know that over the years, most of the treasures in the land of monster spirits that could be easily obtained had already been plundered almost completely by the all-seer Tian Yunzi and others. Naturally, this did not include the 5 cave abodes. Even Mazi, who possessed the qualification to enter the cave abodes, was unable to break their restrictions, and ultimately obtained only a jug of leftover immortal wine. Yet Huang, as if possessed by the god of fortune himself, accidentally discovered an abandoned immortal emperor's cave abode. Within it, he acquired 2 storage bags, once prepared by the Qinglin immortal emperor, to celebrate his beloved daughter, Qing Shuang, becoming an immortal general of the wuxia immortal realm. A gift from a father to his daughter. Its value was self-evident. Unfortunately, one of the storage bags was seized by Qinglin's beloved disciple, the Yun immortal Dao companion. As for the remaining storage bag it contained, the point immortal brush, the immortal binding net, a jade slip recording the method of refining immortal guards, and a low-grade immortal spell known as immobilization technique. Many of these immortal treasures were impossible for Huang to use with his cultivation, especially the immortal binding net. It had already developed its own intelligence and refused to obey him. When he first attempted to familiarize himself with it, 9 times out of 10, it bound Huang himself tightly instead. As for the jade slip containing the immobilization technique, it could only be opened using Qing Shuang's bloodline. Thus, the most useful item to Huang was the immortal guard refining art. At first, he used this art to refine cultivators, far weaker than himself and unaffiliated with major sects. But as time passed, his courage steadily grew, and his targets gradually shifted to disciples of the Great Luo Sword Sect and the Heaven-Defying Sect. These individuals possessed exceptional talent, high success rates in immortal guard refinement, and formidable strength. Through this cycle, the Cultivator Alliance steadily expanded. Combined with the many immortal treasures he possessed, Huang repeatedly lied to the outside world, claiming he had once been a member of the immortal realm. Ironically, after telling this lie for several hundred years, even he himself nearly believed it. The reason Huang sought out Mazi was because when Wang Lin first entered the land of monster spirits, his subordinates reported that this youth possessed considerable talent and had reached soul transformation mid-stage. Huang intended to capture him and refine him into a monster guard. However, during that period, Mazi was constantly participating in the Monster General Grand Competition, after which he entered secluded cultivation for 10 years and broke through to the Ascendant Realm. Only now did he finally reappear. Huang apparently completely out of touch, only heard that Wang Lin had emerged, yet remained unaware that he had already reached the Ascendant early stage. Believing victory was assured, Huang led the entire Cultivator Alliance to capture Mazi. Among all the immortal guards, the strongest was merely at soul transformation, great perfection. The reasons were simple. First, Huang comprehension of the immortal guard, Jade Slip, was shallow. Second, he was too cowardly to provoke true ascendant cultivators. Although he was nominally at ascendant middle stage, his cultivation was forcibly elevated through secret methods. In truth, he was nothing more than a paper tiger. He could only contend with soul transformation cultivators. Against genuine ascendant experts, he would never dare fight to the death. With Mazi's ascendant early stage strength, how could those soul transformation monster guards possibly stand against him? Even when Huang exhausted all his trump cards, he still could not defeat Wang Lin. Driven to desperation, he placed his final hope in the immortal binding net. Yet the moment it was activated, Huang Yu was instantly bound tightly by his own treasure. All of his immortal treasures naturally became Wang Lin's exclusive spoils. Even Wang Lin himself was surprised. Someone had actually come knocking on his door to personally deliver supreme treasures. One must know that although Tan Lang was revered as Mazi's #1 benefactor, every treasure Wang Lin pried from him required a brutal battle. Compared to that, Huang Yu's actions were essentially handing everything over willingly. Among these treasures, the most beneficial to Mazi were the Immortal Guard Jade Slip and the Immobilization Technique. Let us first speak of the Immortal Guard Jade Slip. Later, when Wang Lin traveled to the abyss of the Tide's End, in the Heavenly Monster County, to rescue Zhou Yi, he encountered Du Jian, a disciple of the Chai sect, who harbored malicious intent toward him. Using this method, along with numerous magic treasures and the Heavenly Ghost Soul, Mazi refined Du Jian into a puppet whose strength reached the Yin Void realm. Even though Mazi was still only at Ascendant early stage, with such an obedient bodyguard, he feared neither Yin Void cultivators nor stronger foes. Unfortunately, this puppet net perished during a battle against the Blood Ancestor. Even so, that did not hinder Mazi from later refining immortal guards, even more powerful than this one. As for the Immobilization Technique, though it was merely a low-grade immortal spell and could currently immobilize targets only briefly, the outcome of battles between experts was often decided in a single instant, within the land of monster spirits, and later across the vast expanse of the Latian star domain. This seemingly unremarkable technique became one of Wang Lin's most decisive trump cards. Time and time again, at the very moment when life and death hung by a single thread, it granted him that fleeting yet critical opening, the instant needed to turn the tide, to cross realms and slay enemies far stronger than himself. As Mazi's cultivation continued to rise, and his comprehension of the spell grew ever deeper, the power of the immobilization technique underwent a terrifying transformation. What was once merely capable of freezing an opponent's body, for a brief moment, gradually evolved into an art that could bind time itself, lock down space, and even halt magic treasures' divine abilities and supernatural powers. In countless life and death battles, this technique became Mazi's most reliable means of survival, his sharpest blade for striking down formidable foes, and the ultimate safeguard that allowed him to walk the path of defiance step by step, until the day he finally reached the Tread Heavenly Realm, until the moment he succeeded in reviving Li Mu Wan. This technique never once failed him, and because of this, to call Huang Yu the so-called treasure-delivering expert second only to Tan Lang is not mockery, not exaggeration, but an undeniable fact. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much.